Welcome to my Code Vein 2 walkthrough. I've already recorded a bunch of these episodes, and then I realized I wasn't recording sound of the game, so it was just me talking, so had to delete those. Here's the real ones, though. I'll be skipping all of the cutscenes and dialogues, so you can experience that for yourself. Basically, I'm going to be going through and showing you how to power up and get good before you start taking on a bunch of bosses. Okay, I'm done with my character creator, and we are just right past the opening cutscene.
I shall guide you.
Just walk up to Lu. I mean, I'm not going to explain how to walk straight. I've really been enjoying this game. I know a lot of people think it's difficult. I think this is one of the easier Souls-likes.
Don't hesitate.
Just like Elden Ring. And the reason I think that is because it's the open world, so you can go get stronger and come back and fight enemies. Unlike some Souls games where you're kind of like pigeonholed to fight a boss until you can move forward. Even the boss that a lot of people are complaining about online, saying it's too hard, you can just skip and come back later, and there's no penalty, even though people feel like there might be a penalty. So I'm going to show you how to power up and all that before we get into like actually doing all the hard content, or the harder content. And every new map that I go to, I'm going to focus on powering up before you start tackling all of the hard content. And this guide is actually like, that philosophy is kind of like roughly based on how Fighting Cowboy's Elden Ring guide, which was one of my favorite walkthroughs of all time. And at the very beginning, he didn't have you go fight anything. He just took you around the map to collect all the strong stuff to make an actual build to be able to handle, stuff. So it's roughly based on that concept. That guide is what got me into Souls-likes. Like, I played a lot of Souls-likes before that, wasn't very good at them, but that guide is what made me understand the gameplay loops. Okay, now we're just waiting to get to the top of Magmel Tower. Storage tower. Longest elevator in the world, apparently. Okay, so you're gonna get done talking to Lavinia, and she is going to tell you to just, head on out. Nope, she's going to tell you to talk to her.
Another world.
Yep. Now you're going to head back in time for the first time. So you just talk to her, go through dialogue. Once you're done talking to Lavinia, you will be teleported into the past, and you'll have your first actual fight. The ability you get on this weapon, it's called Phantom Assault. It's really strong, even later in the game. I love this ability. I don't keep using this sword. So I don't keep using that sword, but you do find the Phantom Assault ability very early in the game. Okay, so we are going to change to the Noah blood code. And I'm just kind of showing a build, kind of. Now, you can level up both blood codes if you want to, but I find it's actually easier and better for you to focus on one blood code, get strong with a certain build, and then later you'll have a lot of flexibility when you have stronger enemies to just level up alternative blood codes like super quickly. I should probably pay a little bit of attention if I'm gonna be in here. Now, all of these mushrooms right here, those are crafting materials that can help you make a glow stick. I don't use glow sticks, but they are there if you need glow sticks. It's basically something you can throw on the ground to kind of show, like, oh, I've been this direction already. So if you get lost a lot, or if you just like to have that, physical reminder of where you've been, there it is. But this game also has this thing where you can hold RB and then press the right thumbstick in, or left thumbstick. Let's see. Yeah, right thumbstick, and it'll show you where you've been recently, and it keeps the memory for a while. So I do not find the glow sticks necessary. Okay, so with this person, I'm going to try to do a back attack for the first time. Nope. There we go. So nice little back attack, which will put them into a stun state where you can get a special stun attack off. She's about to bloodthirst. Anytime you know an enemy's about to bloodthirst, you want to make sure you get out of there. And bloodthirst it heals them up, their white health up, and then it also throws you back if you're too close. So if you see an enemy kind of shaking and looking down, they're about to bloodthirst. And getting used to those back attacks I just did is a really important part of the gameplay. So kind of circling around an enemy, you got to be perfectly in the correct spot, and you got to do a light attack right there, and that is a back attack, and that'll put them into a stun state if you have the right equipment on. And you can see I'm actually not putting them into a stun state right now, but I do not know why, but whatever. So this is the weapon we're going to start using, and I'm going to use this weapon for a little bit of time in this playthrough. Not too long. It's a really good weapon, though, if you want to stick with it. So the reason this weapon's so good is it scales off of Dex and Strength, and Noah's build is mostly Dex, a little bit of Strength, or Noah's Blood Code. And it also has Adrenaline built into it, and you can get Adrenaline really early in the game. It's actually one of the bosses on Magmel Island that you can get Adrenaline from, but it comes built into this weapon. So, and when I say you get Adrenaline, what I mean is you find the Forma, and that gives you the ability to put it onto any weapon. But getting this weapon, you can only have the Adrenaline on this weapon. So not a big deal. Okay, right up here we got a blue item. Blue items aren't necessary to get. It's a chem light. Blue items are optional. You can get them if you want to. They're going to be consumables. If you see a purple item or a gold item, not yellow, but gold, you gotta use it. So here's where you learn to use your flashlight. Just RB right, and then, you know, click your flashlight. Or you can put, you might be able to put your flashlight on your hotbar, but I wouldn't because it's really not useful in very many places. And when I say hotbar, I'm talking about the bar where your healing item starts. Okay, so we're just skipping through all this. I hope you enjoy watching it. So Valentine's going to tell you to head back to Magmel Complex.
Reckless idiot.
So there's just one more item we're going to get in here, and that's just a blue item that's just around the corner.
Worst with your help, at least. Thanks for pitching in.
And if I'm not mistaken, we're also going to get our first map goblin, if I'm not mistaken. I literally just played this a couple hours ago to make the first video and then realized the sound was out. So here's your first map goblin. I call them map goblins. For the first 2 areas of the game, they're just going to be static things that sit there like that. In the 3rd and 4th area, they're still going to be static ones that sit there like that. Like they exist, but then sometimes you're going to have actual enemies that kind of have that thing growing out of their back, so you actually have to defeat the enemy. And then a lot of times, you know, they'll later on, almost always they have like an enemy around them. But the first 2 zones, you're going to have no problem. They're going to be just sitting there almost always by themselves, and you can just take them out. And that's in the overworld and inside of dungeons. Okay. So we got our first mistle outside right here. Go ahead and click it. I'm going to rest at it just in case, so you reset your respawn point, but I'm full health and everything, so I don't need to. But anyways, here we go. So these are just, these are enemies you have to fight to get across the bridge and put Adrenaline back on. Oh, I thought I had Phantom Assault on. I was like, whoa, whoa, why am I not teleporting that guy? So you see the little mist blocking the way. So they just make you fight these first couple enemies for tutorials. So I guess this is supposed to be a staggered enemy, but I'm just going to get around the back and try to do a light attack. And it's not, oh, Bloodthirst. Gotta watch out for that Bloodthirst. You can see I'm not getting that. I am not getting the, I didn't get the light attack, but I did get a stagger, which allows me to do a special drain. You don't need to do the special drain, it just helps you get Ichor back. I was just trying to do it to show. I definitely want to do more back attacks just to like kind of show what a back attack is, so people do them more in their playthroughs, because they are really important later on when you're actually like using a lot of Ichor. I thought I'd have. I went a split second too long. You can see my buddy Noah just went in there and wrecked all those guys while I was fighting the little dude in the back. So this guy is going to be really hard to stagger a lot, but you can see we're doing a really good job of like getting him staggered. And then I'm able to do that special drain attack, but I could have just killed him with light attacks pretty easily. Got a nice little anti-stone right there. So up here is going to be our first golden nectar. And this golden nectar is real special.
The nectar found in this tree.
It allows you to increase the amount of hills that you have. So right now I have 3 hills. Well, right now I have 2 because I used one. But now I'll have 4 of them. So we are going to get at least 1 more hill before we fight any bosses. And we are also going to get, we're going to get a golden blood bead really soon. And we're also going to get some more gold nectars, which give you more hills. So we're going to increase the amount of our hills, and we're also going to get more hills. Always make sure you're popping adrenaline on before fights. It's just, I went in a little aggressive on this one. Yeah, that was a little more aggressive than. Ooh, didn't see him coming. They put me in a corner and my eyesight got bad. And now I'm just playing like an idiot. So that white health that's on the enemy right now, that is the damage that Noah's doing. And you can see if I don't attack him, that health heals back up. So if I attack him, that health stays down permanently. Like that red health will not go down. And that's kind of what builds up on him. If you attack him, you get that red health. And the red health is healable, but there are special conditions that have to be met. But the white health will naturally come back. So sometimes you can just let your partner kind of go out there and kill, and you can just sit back. But it's not a guarantee they'll actually get the kill, because that health could easily come back. And if they bloodthirst, it will instantly heal all of that health. So we've just made our way back to the Institute. And when we get in here, we're just going to run around and show off some facilities in here and then get right back out. Should really add some elevator music.
Looks like Valentin told everyone about you.
Okay.
Why don't you go take a look around?
Yeah, so he's just telling us to take a look around, quit talking. So here's your general store vendor. Your general store vendor only sells 5 items at first, but you will upgrade the general store in basically 2 different ways. The first way is by finding uncanny stones. And what you'll do is you'll come up to this billiards room up here, this little hangout room, and you'll talk to the vendor up here. It's the same vendor everywhere. She just kind of teleports around. And so right now you can't do anything with this lady, but when we go back to the future, one of the first things we'll do is talk to her to get her blood code. And you can also get her as a partner for fighting. But she actually doesn't physically come out. She just she's always assimilated with you. So right there's some vintage wine. There's a bunch of like little purple items in this building you can get. I'm not gonna run around too much in here. But it's fun to explore. So here's the weapon vendor to the left. There are a couple good weapons here. If you pre-ordered, you have this greatsword and this Twin Fangs of the Lone Wolf. I'm sure they'll add these later as a DLC you can buy, or maybe later in the game you can unlock them. I don't know. But these Twin Fangs of the Lone Wolf, if you want to use Lou's blood code, I think this is the best weapon for that blood code early on. And actually for quite some time. And the reason it's because it's mind and willpower. And there are not many items that do mind and willpower. A lot of like strength willpower, dexterity mind, but not a lot of mind willpower. This sword is really good for strength, dex, and mind. I find this sword to be really good with some of the later blood codes you get. And we'll look at some of those later in the walkthrough. But anyways, I'm not going to buy any of those right now just because I'm low on money and I want to level up. But you should buy every weapon at least one time because they are unique weapons that she sells. Here's where you can upgrade your weapon. So if you wanted to, you could go ahead and upgrade these daggers. If you're going to keep using these daggers, I definitely recommend you upgrade them. I'm going to switch to a rune blade pretty quick. It's a really fun weapon that I like using on Noah's Noah's thing. Anyway, here's where you can transform equipment. You can't do any of this right now, but it's really important for later. You can extract boosters, which is really important, but we'll go over all of this like later in the walkthrough. You have these minions standing around. There's 2 of them to talk to. So talk to this one. He'll give you a dexterity booster, and that is your first booster. So make sure you head over to boosters and you equip that. And then I don't think this minion gives you anything. Oh, they do. They give you Bolt Blast. Okay, so a magic forma. My bad. They do give you something. And then here's the 3 minions. Here's the last minion. And they will give you the Mutinous Bracers. And so if you like parry gameplay, which I don't, so I'm not going to use them. But if you like parry gameplay, you can use those. So here's the training room. Make sure you hit the Mistle in the training room so you can teleport right back here. It's a basic training room, but it's nice that you have one. So you got your testing dummy, and then you have a little enemy you can fight over there. So if I wanted to put on the Mutinous Bracers, you know, it's just a parry item, so you have to, you know, parry right when they hit you. I don't find myself using blocking as much as I roll, even though blocking is a really, really strong alternative. There are a lot of attacks that are harder to dodge than block. I mean, you could say that about almost anything. If you want to go around and talk to these people, you can, but they don't do anything special. They're just kind of lore dumps. Not even lore dumps, just like most of them don't even say anything lore related. Anyways, here's Valentina. Valentine. I'm going to say all the names wrong, so we're going to have to get over that. Okay, so now let's look at the map real quick. So if this is your first time looking at the map, there's a couple things to look at. The first thing is this icon right here. If you see this icon, that means that there's a Pathos right there. And a Pathos is a passive boost whenever you're on this map. So there are 2 Pathoses on Magmel Island. The first one's right here, and the second one's over here. And by getting both of these, you'll power yourself up while you're on Magmel Island. So before we fight the big boss on Magmel Island, we're actually going to get both of these, and we're actually going to go leave the island and go do other stuff first. So this Pathos is underground, and the entrance is right here. You can't get into that dungeon until you go back to the future, okay? And then you have, the blue icons denote a Nectar Seed. So the Nectar Seeds are what you use to increase the amount of hills you have. So what we're going to do right now is I'm going to go get this Nectar Seed. I'm going to grab the waypoint in this dungeon. I'm going to... I think this one might be closed off too. I'm going to grab this Nectar Seed. I'm going to grab the waypoint in this dungeon. And then I'm also going to grab this Rejuvenation Bead. So then we're going to come over here. We're going to teleport here. We're going to go grab this Rejuvenation Bead. We're going to come around here. This dungeon is closed off until you're in the future too. And this nectar, or this... this golden nectar is actually inside of this dungeon, so you can't get this one yet. But this Pathos is actually not inside of a dungeon, so we're going to go activate that Pathos. So that's going to be my loop for this first video in what we're doing. So I'm just going to teleport out here. And I think I like to do these things before I take on the first dungeons. The first dungeons are not difficult. And if you want to, you can knock out the first dungeons and then go back to the future. And then once you're back in the future, you can actually have your motorcycle and do it a little bit quicker. But I just want to show you how you can like power up a little bit early. And when I say power up, it's just increasing your hills, which I think is really nice. I think whenever you go to a new map, the first thing you should do is get your Pathoses and get your Golden Nectar Seeds, if it's possible. Some of those will be locked behind dungeons that you like can't quite get into, or just kind of like on the story path, so you should get them as you do the story. But especially like this Golden Nectar Seed right here, it is right beside the dungeon we're about to go into, so there's no reason not to get it.
The nectar found in this tree can speed up your...
And then here's our little puppy dog. Got a couple of these little puppy dogs on the beach. They're not hard if you get in there and attack them. If you let them kind of sit there and lunge at you, they can do a little bit of damage, but they are pretty easy to just get in there and beat up real fast. So here is the first dungeon, the water treatment plant. There are 2 dungeons that we need to complete to finish Valentine's quest. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk to this guy to open the dungeon. And I'm going to head inside of the dungeon and go downstairs, and I'm going to trigger the Mistle, and then I'm going to come back out. Okay, right there is where you'll get the tutorial for backstabbing. Okay, so you kind of have 2 options here. You can either go right back out, or you can just teleport out. I'm going to teleport to Magmel Central Island area. And then the next dungeon that you're going to go to is actually right here in front of us where that beam is. Well, kind of like it's directly in front of us and the beam's a little off to the right. So I'm going to unlock this dungeon and get that nectar seed. Kind of should have put adrenaline on before the fight started. I was trying to see if I could just like sidestep it, but just doing a lot of back attacks right here just to kind of show the mechanic. I'm not going to be doing back attacks like all the time, but they are really strong and they're a good way to get your stagger so you can get your ichor back up. And they're just in general a really strong thing to learn how to use effectively. So over here to the right is going to be that little golden nectar I talked about. And then very quickly, we're also going to grab a purple item right here just because it's sitting out here. And it is a tender crimson stone. The weapon that I want to use that I really like is actually inside of this dungeon. So to activate this dungeon, you just kind of talk to this guy right here. He's the motorcycle guy. But we are going to activate this mistle, and then we are going to teleport away. And there are just two more things we're grabbing in this first episode. So I am teleporting back to the very first mistle that we got. It is called the Clifftop Cavern Entrance. So don't go into the actual Clifftop Caverns because you'll go inside. But from this mistle, it's actually easy to get to the rejuvenation bead. If you try to go the other way, you'll have to like go through this big long tunnel with a lot of enemies and stuff. And this is all about just like doing a little bit of powering up early. Okay. And so you just drop down those cliffs on the right. Don't jump all the way down or you will die. You kind of gotta, jump down the stairs. There are a bunch of purple items behind me too, but there's also a really big boss over there. Or not boss, but a really tough enemy, I should say. So I do have a lot of haze right now. I should have leveled up a couple times already, but I have not. So here's your first kitty cat. I call them the hilly cats or something. Like just, I call them a bunch of different names. But anyways, that is the first rejuvenation bead we're going to get, and that is going to increase the amount of heals that you have. Or sorry, that is going to increase the amount of healing your heal actually does. So I'll still have 4 heals, but I'll each one of them will heal me for more health now. But you have to go to the mistle and actually activate it before it can be used. So from there, we're just going to kind of run out here and run. I'm going to run past. So that's the little path we want to go down to our right. And out of the rejuvenation tower, basically, I just went right and around here, and then we're going to go down here to get on this side of the island. And again, that's underground, and we won't be able to get to it right now. But we're going for a purple item that's right over here, and it's going to be guarded by a kind of tough enemy. He is not that hard to kill. I killed him the last time I came through here. But I just killed him, and I'm not sure I really... So you get your first uncanny stone. Okay, well, maybe I'll kill him for that. Oh, I got fucked. Well, I kind of fucked myself. I missed him with my attack. So he's about to do a big old slam. Oh, Bloodthirst is coming. Yeah, anytime you see an enemy kind of choking or something, it means they're about to Bloodthirst. That's such an easy attack to avoid too. AoE. So Noah is doing all the damage here because I am just getting stomped into the ground. So if you're good at parrying, this is a very easy guy to parry. I am not good at parrying. I actually am very bad at it. So I just let Noah handle all of that, and I got no drop from it. But okay, did we already grab the purple? Yeah, the purple was our first uncanny stone. Uncanny stones are what you're going to give to the vendor lady in the billiards room to get your VIP cards, and that'll upgrade what you can buy from the weapon shop. And so that will be more weapons for you to choose from, which is awesome. Here's a dungeon we'll come back to later, but here it is right here. It's blocked off right now. You'll see a little person. If you try to go down here, you'll see a person blocking it. They won't let you through, which I think is ridiculous. You can't just do them right away, but I understand this is like a tutorial type section they're sending you through. So the gold nectar is like basically right over there where I'm looking. but it's underground, so you will not be able to find it up here. Almost positive that's the case. Now we're just going to head to my beam, because that is the Pathos, and there is a werebeast over here. And you can fight it, or you can choose to ignore it right now. A lot of what we're doing right now is ignoring. So this right here is really important, this golden beam. This is going to give you the rising twirl forma, and I am going to equip that. It's a nice little gap closer. But it's right over here by this Pathos. I'm just going to hit that so the beam goes away. And so this is our first Pathos, and I'm going to talk to it. And basically, this increased my max LP and my max Ichor, Jesus, on this island. So whatever I'm on Magpel Island, that's a permanent buff I have. And so from here, we're good to just go knock out those dungeons. So I am just going to teleport to this first outside dungeon. And the reason I want to do this dungeon first, I'm going to level up. First, I'm going to level up. I can get 5 levels, okay? And then I'm going to enhance my regeneration so we have enough to get recovery amount up and the regeneration count up. So now I have 5 heals, and they heal me for more than they did, 2 seconds ago. Good. Oh, you know what? I didn't customize my weapon. I have tried to turn off these tutorials and have not been able to. Okay, come on. Okay, so I'm going to put the Rising Twirl. I guess I'll put the Bolt Blast on here. Actually, I can't. I don't have enough, so I don't have enough handling to put it on here. Oh, never mind. I do. Never mind. I don't know why I didn't go on a second ago. I'm probably not going to use Bolt Blast too much, especially in small corridors. I'll show you right here. It shoots out all those beams. See how most of them missed? So instead of going through the front door, so that's that Rising Twirl we just got, which I love. Instead of going through the front door, I just came over here to the side to grab this item. Coming in through this left side is also nice because you can aggro 1 enemy at a time, as opposed to if you go through the front, sometimes you'll hit 2. Okay, whenever you max out a blood code with proficiency, just go back to the Mistle and make sure you have the partner whose blood code it is, and they'll give you the next level of the blood code. So upgrading your blood code is a really big jump in power. If you want to, at this point, you could also level lose blood code, because you're not going to be able to get Noah's blood code leveled up here. Like, D is too high of a rank to level up on this island. There might be like 1 or 2 enemies that level it up, but in general, most of the enemies aren't. So anyways, Bolt Blast I don't like to use inside of confined areas because of the reason I just showed you. And my Rising Twist just put me in a bad situation. Just finish it off with a special drain attack. So there's an enemy right around this corner I'll kill real fast. And I was a little bit short. You gotta learn the distances on those abilities. Okay. So now we got this guy coming in the middle. And sometimes you'll accidentally aggro this guy and aggro this guy by the fountain. And that can be a bit annoying if you're not, like, ready for it. Oof. Okay, so there goes that guy. He's easy. So right here, you'll get your first offensive, I guess offensive forma, they might call it.
The Revenant Anons?
So many things in this game are called forma.
That can snipe from long range.
So, or it's called a bequeath forma, not an offensive forma. Okay, and this lets you summon a weapon. In this case, you'll be able to summon a bow and arrow. And so we will shoot the map goblin. There you go. So now your map in this dungeon is unveiled. There are a couple more blue items on the ground in here, if you want to run around and grab them. From here, there's 2 ways to get to the end of the dungeon. You can either go up or you can go around. We are going to go up, and we're going to go, up or underneath, and we're going to go up. If you want to, you can basically skip everything else in this dungeon from right here and just go directly to the boss. So if you want to, and you can jump on this ledge right here and then jump over that wall, and you'll just be able to run right up the stairs to the boss. But I am not going to do that just for the sake of showing where everything is. So first thing, we're going to grab this blue item back here. So now we got to go back upstairs. So we just fell down, so now we got to go back up. And there's also the purple item we got earlier is right on the other side of that wall if you didn't get it. So the path underground is there to our right, so it's on the right side. There's not anything in the underground There is something next to the underground entrance that's pretty good. So that underground, not that underground entrance, the entrance on the other side. So maybe I guess you could call it the exit. But we're going to go this way because we're going to grab this box right here. And then there's another chest we're going to grab on that side. So there's going to be 2 enemies down here, but they're the weaker enemies, like these guys. These guys are really easy to stagger. So, or not stagger, but kind of get off balance. So if these little guys, if you can get 2 attacks on them before they attack you, they won't be able to attack. But right around this corner, there is one guy right in front of us, and then there's one guy patrolling to our left. Now, if you accidentally aggro both of them, it can be a little bit of a difficult fight. So I'm going to grab this one and just kind of back up. And I say it's going to be a difficult fight just because the angles. I mean, Noah's just up there destroying this dude. At least I got him with some of the attacks. Whenever we get Phantom Assault later, which is on that initial sword you start with, that gap closer is a lot better. So this is the other guy I was talking about. And I just don't like attacking both of them at the same time because you'll be in the middle of fighting one and the other one will just come from the side and knock you out. Obviously, you'll have to fight multi-enemies a lot in the game, but later you have a lot more tools to deal with them. So this enemy is, I was like, man, maybe I can kill it before it hits me. But that enemy is pretty hard to get off balance. But here's our first little extra chest. Now, these are the swords I was talking about earlier. These seem like they might be kind of hard to use, and it might seem like it doesn't go with a dex build. And to be fair, you know, strength dex is a little bit better for Noah's Blood Code. These are a little bit better for like maybe Lu, but it's still dex, it still scales E off of dex. So you can see right here is the attribute modifiers, and it indicates which attribute affects the attack power. So you have a D on willpower, which is a little lower for this character, and you have an E on dexterity, and then the other swords we're just using is a C on dexterity, so it is a lot better. But I am going to show off these weapons in this next boss fight just to show them off. So we got a couple purple items to pick up. Purple items, again, are always worth picking up. Right there, we just got a gift we can give to our friends, and then we got a an upgrade material for a Forma. So we ran all the way to the right, and here's another chest we can open. And this is a shield that we are going to equip. So this shield is the initial shield we got is just the light shield, and then we got the mutinous bracers, which are parry, and then we have the bleeding shield, which is just like a nice normal defensive shield if you want to use it. So here is the exit to the underground. There isn't anything valuable down here, but I am going to go down here just to like kind of show, you know, show the stuff. And as I say, there's nothing valuable down here. There's a purple down here. We'll see how valuable it is when I get to it. Like upgrade materials like the crimson, the tender crimson and stuff, those are really good, but they're not, oh shit, I'm out of Ichor. They're really good, but you can buy an infinite amount later. So it's you don't have to like stress out too much about getting them or not. So it's a pure platinum 1. That's okay. I think that level, or platinum might level up a jail. Leveling up jails is really important because you have to get to level 11 jail to be able to have 2 weapons equipped. So here's the entrance where you could come in. So if you wanted to, you could have come in this way from upstairs. The entrance, you kind of had 2 ways to go. So here's the entrance. You could have gone over here, or you could have gone upstairs like we did. But that is everything in this dungeon. So now all that's left is the boss. It's a very quick and easy dungeon. No secrets. The next dungeon we do, the water treatment plant, actually will have a secret area. So that's fun. So what I love about these rune blades is the range you can get on them. And you'll see in a second, the special ability that comes with it actually lets me throw the blades, and they will just hover around the boss. I really wish I could turn off tutorials. I've looked in the settings, and I cannot find a place to turn them off. Okay, here we go with the first little mini boss. So right here, this guy is pretty simple. He has a really easy to see moveset. I'm going to throw my swords at him, and you'll see my swords just kind of hover around him, and they'll occasionally just do damage. But I can still run up and do damage with my fists, which is funny, kind of. and I need to turn on my adrenaline. Always make sure you have adrenaline on. So we're just in here punching this guy, and we will be able to stagger this guy at least one. Okay, get away. So when he raises his hand in the air, that is just an AoE move he's doing. And that right there is a bloodthirst. He healed up that white health, but it wasn't that much health, so it's not the end of the world. So Noah just got us a lot of Ichor. Okay, here we go. Final slam, and we were able to unbalance him out of it. Okay, here we go. So I can do a... This is called a special drain attack like I was doing earlier. And this will give us a lot of Ichor back. And now we can kind of hit him a couple times while he's getting up. And then when he gets up, a lot of times when enemies get up, they'll have like a AoE to do. But he's just trying to charge at me. I'll just throw my swords back at him. I'm going to heal up just because. And he's about to do a scream, bloodthirst. And I got... Oh my god, he missed me. I was like, oh, he got stuck in my animation. Okay, AoE ability, get out of there. Raised his hand in the air. I could also be shooting him with my bow and arrow if I wanted to. You know, like this. So that's an option. Each shot with a bow and arrow takes out 1 Ichor. So there's that. So nice, easy fight to do. This is kind of what I consider to be kind of like the perfect start to the game. So just waiting for that to stop. So now we're going to teleport to the water treatment plant. So let's go ahead and do that. So this is going to be the tutorial on backstabbing. So it's going to tell you to crouch and sneak up behind the enemy, but like, watch this. You're going to get like right up behind the enemy, and I'm going to try to do a backstab, and it doesn't even, like, the backstab doesn't even trigger because they sense you too quickly. Like, you can't get right up behind them to do the backstab before they sense you. So it's like, I don't know. I should put adrenaline on. I like to get in there and do my little heavy attack kick when I don't have my weapons with me. I do a little kick like that, but instead of my weapons going down with me, it's just me kicking. Oh, a little short on that, because of course. That gunner's about to shoot me, no doubt. Yep, just like I thought. So I just got pretty lucky right there. I pressed the wrong buttons. I got pretty lucky right there. I say lucky, it's not that big a deal. I got a tainted halberd. So that's just an enemy drop. So most enemies, almost every enemy in most Souls-likes can drop their weapon. And then of course rarer weapons have a lower chance of actually dropping. Let me try to get a backstab on this guy. I need that Ichor. Nope. So inside of this room, this chick is a little bit harder than those guys. But she's really easy to stagger with these rune blades. Okay, here's our first chest in here. So here we've got the jail that I'm going to equip. So right now I have on the ogre jail, and that jail does that. So this is right trigger, and that just kind of does a little forward thrust and then a charge forward thrust. But with the, once it lets me, with the Reaper jail, oh come on. With the Reaper jail, you can do an AoE ability, and you do like this. And if you charge it up, so if you just hit it one time, you'll just do it. But if you charge it up, you'll see around the scythe, you see those sigils floating, and that denotes the status effect time stop. So this scythe can actually put the status effect time stop on enemies. Now, if you time stop small enemies with this ability, they will get thrown back, and then you actually can't attack them until they get back up. But it gives you time to like breathe, but it can be a little bit annoying because like, why would you want to sit there and just not attack an enemy for that long? I am out of Ichor, but if I had Ichor, I could shoot that map goblin right now and like reveal the rest of the map. Instead, I'm going to head into this room. This room has a lot of columns. It has quite a few items in it too. So just kind of like, I like to go around this side, grab this purple, and then fight this first guy. So I know that I can unbalance these enemies with 2 hits with these rune blades. So that's why I was able to get in there and just kind of like hit him a bunch before he hit me. But there is going to be an enemy right around this corner that I'm not able to do that with. That's chick right there. And I'm also not getting any ichor from these fights, which I could be doing. So like right here, I'm going to try to get some ichor from this guy. Got 6 ichor, nice. Okay. So we're going to stay up here for a second. We're going to finish killing the rest of these enemies, and then we're going to go down like the quote-unquote side secret path. It's pretty obvious because this is like the first dungeon that actually has like a side path that you don't have to take. But we're going to grab all of the items in this room first. Run up this column right here and you'll be able to jump to this purple. And then if you run back up the column, there's a blue that you can get up there too. So apparently there's an enemy that I didn't fight down there. So here's the blue. There he is. Okay. So now here's the little side area I was talking about. So you have 2 ways you can go. The main path is just right up here to the right. And then there's a ladder right there. You see the side area will bring us out to that ladder. So in the side area, we've got 2 or 3 purples. We've got a weapon, and we've also got the map goblin. So these guys look kind of tougher than the other enemies, but they're really not. They just look scary because they're bigger. That is our second uncanny stone. Very important item. Because it upgrades our weapon vendor. It might upgrade the general store too, but I know it upgrades. It gives you more weapons. But the minions sell items to upgrade the general store. So see, with these weapons, the guy's just getting unbalanced too quickly to be able to do anything. And those guys, so those big guys right there, they take a really long time to do their first attack. So if you kind of wait, and if you're waiting for them to attack so you can kind of dodge and then get an attack in, it takes too long. So anyways, we got a blue right here. Glowing haze. Glowing haze is just a nice, safe way to keep haze collected. You won't drop it when you die. So here's the weapon I was talking about. Ancient Hunter's Greatsword. It's a fun greatsword if you want to use it. I'm not a fan of greatswords. That isn't true. I'm a huge fan of greatswords. But I just have found myself enjoying dual blades and rune blades more in this version, and one-handed swords. I haven't really found a moveset of a great sword that I've been like, oh, this is great. So anyways, that was it. You got the blue item up there, you've got the chest up there, you've got a couple purples, and then now we are here at the boss fight.
Be prepared. Things are about to
Gonna register your revival stone. Make sure we put on adrenaline before we go inside, and then we're heading inside. Throw my swords at him, and I was stuck in animation too long. So this is a pretty easy attack to dodge, and then you can get a couple hits in. I got kind of greedy there, and I hit him for longer than I normally would. So you see how my rune blades are actually like, oh, bloodthirst is what I meant to say. And there we go. So I'm getting a lot of, I'm unbalancing him a lot. I'm not getting staggers on him, but I'm getting that balance off. Okay, here we go. And here's an actual stagger, so we'll be able to do a special drain attack. And I'm flicking my drain. There we go. It finally triggered. I was like, I hit my drain. You saw it go off. So now we got some more ichor to play with, so I can throw my swords out some more. I mean, I still had some earlier, but... And that's another thing I like about these rune blades, is they're really good at staggering. They have, they get a lot of staggers off. Like, I get 1 stagger per human boss almost all the time. So just for fun, I'll go ahead and heal up. So he is about to do another bloodthirst. And, oh my god, I was almost stuck in the animation too long. And that is it. So that's 2 staggers off on this boss, and he is dead. So he will give us the next item we need for Valentine's quest. So this episode, we're going to finish up all the stuff in the past. And then we're going to go to the future. We are not going to fight the final boss, though, and I'm going to explain why. Because it's not really a final boss. You can come back to it later. I think a lot of people have complained about that boss, saying it's too hard and it's a like roadblock, and complaining how this game is so hard. This game's not hard at all, because you can just leave. That's the thing. That's the difference between this and like an actual Souls. Like, okay, I did not get the fast travel inside of Magmel, so I can't fast travel to Magmel. So make sure, if you're watching this, you hopefully got that fast travel, and now I gotta run back there. And do. I really didn't think that dude was going to be able to... I thought he was focused on Noah. I hate that. Like, he did... I think that combo... I wasn't paying too much attention, but I think that combo, his first hit was towards Noah, and then the second hit just, like, changed directions towards me. Anyways. So we're just running back up to Magmel. In my XP guide video, I say Magpel like 10 times. Magpel. And then I was like, oh, it's Magmel. Okay. I do not do words good. So this elevator's still downstairs, so I just gotta summon it. Elevator music. So I made a character with brown hair like me. I made him kind of boxy, because I'm kind of a boxy guy. Just, you know, boxy. And then I had brown hair, and then I also have a white streak in the front of my hair, like that. I don't know why. I just have a random like white patch in my hair. Voltron on Netflix, I remember watching that, and Shiro has like black hair with a white patch in front. I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. And then I got one, and I was like, oh, that's not cool. When I first got it, it was like 2018, and I was 28. And I was super stressed out because of some stuff that was going on. And I was on an airplane when I first noticed it, in an airplane bathroom.
Hey, are you all right?
But now I have a couple more patches and stuff. But anyways, so we are done with everything in the past right now. So all we got to do is report to this guy. And now we get the tower key. So I'm gonna finish off like this area, and I'm going to show you how I think you should handle this next boss. Like basically the first quote-unquote major boss of the game. It doesn't have to be the first major boss though. Again, you can come back to it later, so just level up a couple times. I want to say I came back to it when I was like level 26 or something, and it was a breeze, you know? And you know, some people might say like, oh, out-leveling it ruins the challenge. I don't think so at all, you know? The big thing about this fight isn't that you do so much more damage when you're higher level, it's that you have more health. That's really the big thing. And leveling also isn't, I mean, it is important, but the level of your blood code is really important, and that'll give you a really big boost in damage. So anyways, we're just heading up to this storage place. We'll watch a couple cutscenes. Well, you'll watch a couple cutscenes. I will skip them. So again, this is kind of what I consider to be like kind of a perfect start in the game to just get you off on a good foot on Magmel Island. And then the next episode is going to be the kind of the perfect start, part 2. I'm going to get the rest of the collectibles on Magmel Island. And so we're just going to grab this thing right here. I'm going to get the rest of the collectibles on Magmel Island. And I'm also going to... and I say collectibles, I mean like the health the health count and all that, and also the protos, pathos. Yeah, pathos. Anyways, a lot of cutscenes to skip right here. So right here is where a lot of people get stuck. So it says, hey, you can go back in time and save Noah, or just like leave him to die. You can come back to this later. You can skip this. I'm going in for a very specific reason. I'm going to get Noah. So for one, you get Guardian Heart. The next thing we're about to get is going to be another offensive forma. What are they called again? The summoning formas.
My time travel ability has awoken a new power within
What
me.
are they called?
This is a weapon unique to Revenants.
Here we go. She's about to give it to us. Battle Axe, Idris's Conceit. And this is a battle axe that'll actually afflict enemies with time stop. So it's very similar to your the Reaper jail. I'm not. I guess I'll rest here. So what I'm doing is I'm just getting Noah to become a companion again, but only in the past and only inside of this building. And the reason I'm doing that is so I can get the next level of his what am I trying to say? The next level of his forma, of his blood code. Like, I'll try the fight, and then I hate that move right there because the third hit is like a delayed hit. And then... And that third hit right there on that attack is always delayed, and it is very hard to... I really thought he was going for Noah. Ooh, he got me real good right there. So again, like I said, I am not going to try to win this fight, but whatever, Bloodthirst right there. Charge up my Reaper attack, go in there, get some Ichor, and that third attack right there. And I like to do this. I was gonna say I like to do that right after his slam if I avoid the slam, but he actually jumped back very quickly, much quicker than I was expecting. So instead of doing, man, I kind of relentless. I forget how relentless this boss is. Here we go, and that is a heavy drain or a special drain attack right there. I hope I don't accidentally beat this guy. I don't think I will. I don't think there's a chance. So here's his second phase. So that is where you can get hit with stone. Oh, I'm out of hills. Okay. Yeah, now I'm stuck in a corner, so I don't even... I'm trying to dodge roll out. So I haven't been able to get out of this corner. There we go. Okay. So Noah finally came back. So there's that slam again, and then, but in this phase when he does the delayed slam, he follows it up with an explosion. So an attack that you already could barely have time to counter, you get even less time to counter. And I need to... I was doing pretty good there. I probably could have beat him if I had backed up and let Noah come back. But I don't care, because I suggest, unless you can really just stop him, like you're that good, just avoid it. So I dropped on my haze, but you'll see I'll be able to get my haze back in the future. So now I have Noah back as a companion. So when I max out his next blood code proficiency, you can see I'm still... D proficiency hasn't upgraded at all. The little bar right there where the red is will grow up. So I could have leveled up Lou's blood code. I could have leveled up Guardian Heart, but you can just farm them up so fast later that it's like, just play a build that you're going to be able to use. Anyways, so now I'm just going to head back upstairs. Normally you can just fast travel and you'll be able to fast travel to the bond and just leave, but apparently this time you can't. So now Noah will just be sitting back here waiting for us to come back later. And like I said, I've seen a lot of negative comments online about how this game's too hard, it's not fun, and all of it is based around the fact that people try to do that fight. So the final thing I'm going to do is I'm going to teleport to Magmel. It's going to launch a couple cutscenes, and then I'm going to stop it.
Long last.
Okay, so in the next, I think that's a really good start. That's everything in the past that you can do in Magmel, all the weapons and stuff. The next episode, we're going to get all of the collectibles and weapons and stuff from the present time, and we're going to get to the main island, and then we're going to go back and fight Franz at some point later. So we're not going to fight him right now. That is not something that you miss later. There might be some crazy long point in the future where you miss it, but not any reasonable amount of time. Okay, so thank you so much for watching this video. And in the next video, we're going to get 3 more blood codes and we're going to get a bunch of upgrades.